Welcome to Keith and the Girl. I'm Keith Malley.
I'm Chemda.
Today's guest, she's been on before, and you liked her. So we're going to do it again from Univision's Flama. And the improv groups, there's about 50. Let me tell you a couple. Ruthless, Suck My Dick 2. Jesus Christ. Tops. I mean, the list goes on.
Suck My Dick also, or Suck My Dick the sequel?
The sequel.
Okay, respect.
Well, we'll find out what happened to the original. Aileen Clark, how are you?
Hello, I'm doing very well, thank you.
I was listening to your episode from home, yelling at my screen.
I'm so glad.
Yeah.
It was a terrible day.
Yeah, it was really great, though. You guys were wonderful.
Thank you.
I was off with my tumor.
Yes.
It was the day after the election, right?
Correct.
And
So you were off with your tumor, too.
Oh, my God. They're growing as we speak, all the tumors.
I have some meds if you want.
Oh, thank you.
Now, what did this mean, Chemda? On Facebook, it says you just finished your post-op medication.
Yes.
What was the medication?
Well, it was weed.
Bless your heart, girl.
It's ours. So here's what happened. The tumor was taken out, football-sized tumor. I have a beautiful scar that I'm hoping would fade a little bit. Okay, it was very cute for a while. I get it. I had surgery.
I have some good products for you to put on them because I got some good scarring oils that are great for that
I knew
kind
I
of
was
stuff.
here for a reason.
Yes.
I knew I came back to the studio for a reason. I knew we needed to book Aileen. All knew it. And so I had a choice of radiation. Unfortunately, it was a choice, which was, I thought, the worst because I was like, no. You have like more than one degree. You choose. But the doctor was like, no, you're right on the border of it could do crazy damage in your future and like some good now or no good now. Something like it was just, you're right on the border of you need it or not. You have to make a decision. Radiation. So I still have to collect a little more information, but I'm leaning towards no.
Okay.
And in the meantime, because I was going to do this anyway, whether we do radiation or not, I'm taking RSO pills, which my husband actually made for me, which is a very hard task because otherwise it would cost even more because it costs a lot. But we did a lot of research. It's supposed to shrink tumors. It's supposed to do what radiation and chemotherapy has not been able to do for some people where they sent them home to die because chemo wasn't working, radiation wasn't working, the tumors are growing, and people took RSO and the tumor shrunk. They lived, longer than they anticipated. So I thought I would do that, and then if I still need to do radiation, if I decide to do that, I would just, put them hand in hand.
So there's a set time that you're supposed to take them, and you just finish them.
Yeah, you're supposed to take a very concentrated amount of weed, manipulated very, very specifically. It's not like fun. It was fun like 2 or 3 times because, there was a little bit of space between that last pill or something. And so I got a little giggly high. But I also overdosed. Sometimes it hits your stomach. Maybe you didn't eat and suddenly your whole body goes into turmoil. It's in the middle of the night. I'm calling my husband because I'm starting to shake and like sweat and it feels like I'm going to throw up and shit at the same time.
Terrible.
And so I'm just like, like knowing it'll go away. No. And all I have to do is like maybe burp or like it has to release something.
Sure.
And then it starts getting better. Yeah.
Whoa, dude. That's bonkers.
Right.
Now, you wouldn't know if this helped you or not, right?
Right. I'll never know. But I won't know if the radiation helps either. That's the thing. They just zap it not blindly, but blindly.
Sure.
And because they can't see the tumor, so they're hoping that the tumor would be there if it was going to be there. So we're all blindly doing this. I told my doctors about this. I said, I know that you can't help me with this, and I know that you can't even really interact with me because they put their hands up as soon as I say weed because they don't want to get in trouble.
Sure.
But they accepted the information. I had them look it up. They're looking it up further. They are now talking about RSO in their meetings. My neurologist is looking into it because it has to do with my neuro.
Your neuros.
Yeah, the neuros.
My neuromuscular disease also.
Sure.
It has to do with that as well. So
Now what's this
I'm
disease?
getting them to talk about it.
Have you been having muscular problems?
I actually have been, which is really a bummer.
Like what?
Nothing that you would really notice, but maybe on camera if you see me touching my hands, it's because I don't have as much of a grip as I used to. But I still have a grip. You could see me hold this. But every once in a while, I can tell if I don't go a little bit extra than other people, this cup is going to let
fall.
Go. Yeah.
I saw a video somewhere where this guy with Parkinson's who was like very advanced Parkinson's. And then this fucking doctor shows up and he's like, hey, dude. It was like PhD, blah, 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 like a doctor guy. And he's like, try this pen. And it was basically like a weed pen. And my man smoked like 2 hits out of it. And like the shaking, like he was crazy shaking. And he stopped and was like, this is the first time in literally years that my body has allowed me to stand this still. And I honestly cried a little. And I was like, oh, weed, it's saving people. But like, I mean,
but my doctors are not allowed to talk to me about it.
That's crazy.
Yeah, I cried over that too because I'm like, oh shit. You know, you realize that the government, you know, you heard the tapes, and you saw that like they were criminalizing obviously black people, hippies, very specifically, and you're like, okay, but we have enough information, and you just know that they are blocking this from people. You watch documentaries of people's kids that are.
I've seen that clip of these little babies that are like, what is it? Not aneurysms, epileptic seizures, and that the weed helps them out.
Yeah, but they have to move to Denver. That's first of all.
Sure.
Then they can't afford that. They have to move back. If somebody does a drug test on their kid outside of Denver and shows weed in it, the parents go to jail.
Of course, sure.
But think of all the things that were tried before weed.
Sure.
Tequila.
It was.
Dude, when I was a little girl, my mom used to give me a shot of, like, if I got a cold or like any sort of like boogery situation, she would give me a shot of dark rum, warmed up in the microwave very quickly, half a lime squeezed, a big old tablespoon of honey, and then just mix that up, and then
she'd make me lick the honey, then take the shot, then bite
bite the lime, and I would drink that, and I was like 7 or 8, and I was just like,
loaded.
I feel great, Mom. Is that for bed? Cool. And she's like, okay, amor. Like, would tuck me in. I was like, I feel warm. What's it? And I swear, to this day, whenever people are like, oh, my throat, I'm like, shot of rum, lime, honey, you got it.
You know what's funny? Your mom made you a baby hot toddy.
Yeah, basically a baby hot toddy.
I'll go fucking 2 schools. This is the year I get my life together.
Totally.
During recess, I could just. What if during recess I did more work?
Hey, Bob. But seriously, you're the best.
I fucking love you.
Te quiero.
Te quiero tanto. I want 7 Barbies.
You know, I could be eating my vegetables. Why will I eat my vegetables?
They're important. They're so important for me.
They're more expensive.
Why do I hate myself?
Right?
But wouldn't it be funny if she was like a little kid angry drunk?
Yeah. I'm tired of this homework.
You tricked me with the vegetables. Aileen, you'll recall when she was on, just so you help put it together. She was with her family, and her family, extended family, it's the holidays. And they explained to her 14-year-old cousin that you have to keep your vagina shaved. You come from a Brazilian family and have little class. So Aileen,
I guess we're all Brazilian now.
Aileen gets the kid aside and goes, "Here, look at my bush. It's okay.
I love you.
Be who you want to be." Now the girl's 16 and gay, but
no, she's not 16. I don't think she's gay. She's going to Chico State now, and she's very fashionable.
Have you asked her about her grooming?
I haven't, but I feel like the type of girl that she is, like, she's really into makeup. She's very girly. I feel like it leans. Yeah, I lost her. It definitely leans toward the Brazilian side of things. But
okay,
I mean, but she also seems like a very independent young woman. So I feel like if at any point she's like, I'm pumping my brakes with any business down there, then she would be cool with it. Really own it.
I tell you, I currently have a bush, but
me too.
I need to groom it when I get home.
Me too.
It would be nice. But I have like a real fro happening. But to be honest, when you groom it a little bit, it's a little bit easier.
I agree.
Life's a little bit easier.
For me, when my relationship with my waxing lady, which I haven't seen in a very long time, was just delightful. It was this young Indian woman. She was very beautiful.
I need her number.
I know.
I hate I broke up with my waxing lady.
Oh my gosh.
She wasn't attractive enough. She likes that yours is beautiful.
She wasn't giving me enough compliments.
Sure.
I didn't get flowers.
My God, my girl was so lovely. She would ask me about improv and stuff, and like I would try and explain like, so a herald, as she's ripping my hair off of my vagina, and like, but she was very supportive. I'd be like, well, I have an improv show today, or I have a storytelling show, and she'd be like, oh my God, I can't wait until you're like a superstar. I'm gonna be like, I shaved or I waxed this lady's vagina, and I'm like, okay,
let's talk about that. Let's talk about our future plans together.
Yeah, feel free, but
make some guidelines.
Just make it like less like, oh, you really did have to get all up in the bad part. I think not the bad part.
The
but
bad part is usually I do the show every other Tuesday.
Yeah, especially when it's the butthole part because you're just like, way ho.
Now, if you get everything done,
Yeah,
even the butt,
that's the Brazilian.
and then when you're with a guy, do you say like, you didn't really look around down there? Look around.
Let me know. Is she missing spots? Like, what is the deal? Am I gonna have to complain to her next time I come in? No complaints.
Speaking of improv, what am I seeing about UCB? Everybody knows UCB Theater.
Yeah.
UCB grades. Well, what is this?
So I get online yesterday, and I was looking through my phone, and somebody was like, my grades. And I was like, your grades?
You're an adult, yeah.
Yeah. And then a bunch of people like started doing, and then of course classic UCB crew is just bits on bits on bits, right? Like, oh, my UCB grades, what about this grade, and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, how I want to know my grades now, like just for fun. And
now, did you have to take a class with them to get a grade?
yes.
And, right, like they didn't grade me.
No. They were like, oh, that guy Keith, C plus. No. It lists like if you go on your profile, because now you have a little like UCB profile once you take a class. It has all the classes you've taken and like what the grade your teacher gave you.
But only you could see that.
Only me, because it's like my profile, and then you'd have to go in with my password and everything like that.
What did they used to do? Because how would you know if you were good or not? No wonder there's so many bad improvers. You guys just didn't know.
It was just like pass, or like you'd get an email like, congratulations, you can go on to the next level, you know, kind of thing. But you never was like excellent or mediocre or absolutely terrible.
I do want to know who does absolutely terrible. You're at a bowling alley. All right, so I'm in space, right? No!
Yeah, no. I think for the most part, everyone got mostly B's because that was one of the
Room for
running
improvement.
Yeah, that was one of the running like gig bits with everybody was
What
like
did you get?
B. I got mostly B's. I got 2 A's because A on my 101.
How many categories are there?
There's 4 levels: 101, 201, 301, 401.
And you take them all at once?
No.
Okay.
No, it's like Scientology. You got to like
Yes, build until you get to the
Yeah,
bars
yeah.
that you hold on, and then you tell all your secrets to. That's how it works, right? And so you got into 401, and once you get to 401, that's the basics. And then at 401, they tell you, oh, you did great. Now you can go start taking advanced level courses.
Well, advanced is when you touch somebody and take their place on stage.
I think.
You got to be advanced to do that.
Yes, exactly.
Because then it's like, where does the other guy go?
Yeah.
But you got to learn. You go to the back. It's not your turn now.
Correct.
Advance is when you get in charge of the bell.
Yeah, when you're like
You move it forward.
You can run in front and edit. But in advance, then it could be either advanced herald, which is like more of what they teach you in 101, 201, 301, 401, or it's an advanced performance where the teacher decides what kind of like structure the show should be. That isn't necessarily a herald. So, I mean, it all depends on if you're fast enough with your finger on the mouse, because the classes go so fast that you're just like, click, oh shit, I missed it.
Wow.
Yeah. So,
Was this me?
like,
I
cause
got confused
So-
with this computer. Is a computer involved?
science.
Once you reach a certain level of class, you have an option to go to sort of the more amateur side or the more professional side. If you do well, you do the professional side, which means you're going to be performing. If you don't do well, you could still take more classes, but it's not necessarily going to be performing. You're on like the mediocre side of things.
Well, what kind of pussy does that one?
No, you perform every single time.
Okay.
So because you have your class shows, right? But the class shows that are for the advanced classes are after usually Herald Night at like 11 p.m. and those are like sought after classes because it's right after Herald Night and you perform and it's really fun. But
But she's saying they all close very fast. So
Yes.
even though they've accepted you that you can take this class, that doesn't mean you're going to get that class because it could be like
because there's 1,000 people that are waiting for that class to come online for you to sign up.
I'll tell you what, this is more confusing than I thought it would be. I really thought you just tell me where I'm at and I'm there. But apparently there's computers.
So much.
Do you like having a grade? Are you like, okay, well, now I know where I stand?
Well, I definitely wasn't the best student growing up, like, but especially like in like sciences and maths and stuff like that. But like arts, I always excelled. So it's been a hot minute since I've had a report card of any sort. Like I left college, 10 years ago? So seeing like, oh, A's and B's, I feel great. This is like, if I were to show this to my dad, he'd be like, oh, fucking finally an A, dude.
Oh, that's why they're doing it, because you can now show it
your
to your parents and be like, this is a real thing.
This is what I'm doing, Mom and Dad. It's not just me sitting in a basement, although it is.
Did you see this movie, Don't Think Twice?
I didn't, and
Don't you have to? It's about improv, right?
Yes. The reason I didn't and haven't yet, but am building up the courage to, is that a lot of people that I've talked to that aren't improvisers are like, oh my God, such a good movie. Loved it. And then people that are improvisers are like, it gave me so much anxiety and literally like sent me into a spiral of like, what am I doing with my life?
Wow.
Which is what La La Land made me do. Like, it's just this like, here I am, struggling artist in New York, comedian, blah, blah, blah. So you watch that on screen, like, and you're like, oh, everybody else feels this? Cool. I'm gonna spiral into despair of like wanting to get a job and be paid for this thing that I love. And improv is such a your results are so instant, and you get that laugh and you feel so fucking good that you're like, oh, I'm fucking nailing it, man. And then you're like, everybody should know that I'm doing good at this, but not everybody's gonna be like, oh, I want to see you constantly like on my TV or in movies. So you're just like, oh, the struggle is real. And so then on screen, even more of a punch to the gut.
Did you, Danny? Did you see this movie, Don't Think Twice? No. I'm trying to.
What is it?
I did see it, and I get, if I'm saying it right, they're all douchebags.
Sure,
they're all fucking douchebags.
And what happens a lot.
Oh my goodness!
Yeah,
what an annoying job you guys do.
I mean, you get in there and you meet all kinds of people.
No, all 7 were the same. I didn't root for one.
Yeah.
There was not one character I rooted for.
I need to see it now. I'm glad that you said that. That makes me feel a little more at ease with it. Just be like, yes, fellow douchebags. I see you there, represented on screen.
I mean, it's like they're very good at explaining what these people are like for the most part, but you can't have a real conversation with them.
Yes.
They're trying to always one up something.
Oh my God.
Something always rhymes with something else. Takes this. Okay, I was just trying to tell you my dad died. Thank you. Okay.
It's bits.
Did you say
always.
You fried your dad? Like what?
Yeah, that's what it is. It's bits on bits on bits. You can't have it's very rare to have a genuine conversation with like when you're after a show. It's like, oh my God, this one thing and this one move I did and this other thing. And you're like, cool. But like, I just discovered this really great recipe for 3-bean chili. Can we talk about that? Like, you know what I mean?
Right. I think I just had some.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, thank you. Goodbye.
And my cue is here.
I was telling somebody the other day, they go, oh, I'm into improv. And I go, and scene. And I just started running.
That's what everyone needs to study, the words and scene.
And scene. It's true.
This woman wrote, Keith, I was just listening to the show where you talked about being in Dubai for a second. And as a resident in Dubai, I think I can help address what is going on in your stall issue. I noticed, it was just a layover, but I noticed in the bathrooms there's about 3 urinals, so many stalls, and the men were using the stalls and not the urinals.
Really?
And I didn't know if this was some Arab thing, some religious thing.
Right.
And then I looked it up. If you're Muslim, you have to wash your genitals after you urinate, after you take a dump.
Wow.
And so I'm like, well, what kind of water are they using if they're in the stall? First of all, Arab men, usually Muslim, use kandoras, a long white dress, and therefore it's not easy to use the urinal as underneath they don't necessarily wear traditional underwear. Sometimes they use a sort of wrapped sheet.
Oh.
And that's what I said. I thought, when you wear a long dress, you don't want to pick up your long dress past your penis and then like your penis is sticking out of your skirt. It just didn't see.
And like reveal all your legs and your butt too. Like that's almost like pulling down your pants over at the urinal too.
Right,
like,
all the way to your ankle.
All the way to your ankle.
Exactly. I thought, and then I thought, there's a flaw in the design. They could have like a little penis hole there.
That's true.
But apparently we're going to learn more.
Secondly, every single bathroom in the United Arab Emirates has what I like to call an ass washer. Yes, even public restrooms all over the country that Arabs use precisely for those hygiene issues you mentioned. So no, there's no bidet in the stalls, but they have an ass washer that they use instead of toilet paper. It would save you a lot of showers after your poos. Here's a picture of one in my house. We'll put it on the website. Been a listener for ages, living in Dubai for 4 years. Female, 32. I give one shit about this subject, which is probably clean. Promptly cleaned, D. So, yeah, so it's this little, it looks like what you have on your shower if you can take your head off and, spray it around. But
that's so lovely.
It's so lovely. You ever see how guys can't aim as it is?
You're terrible.
Yeah.
Absolute monsters. You know what's funny? In Brazil, all my friends, everybody had bidets in their house. I had a bidet growing up my entire time that I was living in Brazil, and it was absolutely delightful because you're just like, okay, here's a shot of water in your butt or hoo-ha, and you're like, I feel great. Dry it up good and bye.
I've never had it. I have a few questions, and since you grew up with it, I want to ask you.
Of course.
Okay.
How many questions could there be?
Watch.
I'm excited.
Okay. Number one, when you're potty trained, does it include the water part, or do they introduce that later?
I'm pretty sure.
Come on. That's a question.
That's a good question.
Thank you.
I think that's included later because I'm pretty sure it didn't make sense to me, this like side toilet, until I was.
So you were wiping your butt until a certain age.
Yeah.
Okay. Did you know that?
And also, the shoots are a little bit like, they can be a little intense if you don't know how to control the knobs, you know what I mean? So if you're a little kid and you're like, wahoo, it could probably hurt you a little bit.
I was going to ask you about that. Now, Keith, I can't talk
First of all, you cannot, you don't introduce this to your kid at a young age or you'll have a spoiled brat.
It's true.
You don't let them know there's this power, technology. It's not going to be in their kindergarten room.
No.
So it's later when you earned it and you learned about responsibility.
Right.
And when you grow the hair that sticks to the,
exactly.
the stuff. when it doesn't just slide out because you're eating all magical fruit.
Exactly.
And then the other one is, I was always afraid to use this because Keith, you have a penis. There's not anywhere else that it can go. It can go into one hole. But how do you know if it's not squirting? It's squirting in your butt, and then like pieces of the poop are like flying into, your vagina or...
So
does this not? No one's scared of this.
Well,
you can wipe once.
That's what I was gonna say. I remember being a little kid.
Chemda's like power washing a muddy RV.
That's what I think.
No, I definitely. I used to wipe once. And then if I felt, because I didn't use it every single time.
I'm pretty sure a couple people turned this off, but and it's my fault. Continue.
Sorry, gang. But like, I think when you're feeling, it's not something you do every single time, but especially if you're feeling extra, like, I need a refresher, then it's helpful. But like, it's not I must wash my ass every single time I go.
Did you ever miss and hit your vag?
No.
Okay, I'm gonna try this. I'm gonna try it. I'm gonna report back.
Do you ever miss? Do you ever sit on it backwards?
What? Because you could. It's definitely it's a scoot. It's almost like a toilet with no lid on top. So it's that same shape. Like if you sat too hard, you'd fall in. But then there's a little spigot, the little thing with the dots where the water shoots up, and you'd be like with the knobs behind you to figure out hot, cold, and all that biz.
I would turn around. Why are the knobs behind me?
I know that was very frustrating to me when I was
very, very strange. My next door neighbors had a bidet, but their dog used to just drink from it, so I never bothered.
Oh yeah, no, that's probably unsanitary.
Well, she's drinking from it, not into it.
That's true.
It just seemed like not the bidet to use.
Sure. Definitely.
By the way, I was talking about how I went skydiving when I was on vacation, and I didn't end up being a big fan. I'm probably the only one in the whole world. They had these harnesses on, of course. I'm doing it with another guy. So painful. My legs went numb. I couldn't enjoy the ride down. But I didn't bring up that they have life insurance they offer for $30.
Oh shit! So
if you kick it, like if
So
your
if-
parachute don't open,
My wife would get up to $50,000.
okay.
But that's a hard thing to bring up, like, hey, baby, you want to get? I mean, it's only $30. I get $50,000.
Yeah.
God forbid, And then she goes, "You think we should both get it?" I'm like, "What are the chances of both of us?"
Just one. If we're gonna take a chance on you dying, which one should we pick?
yeah, that is a
funny.
scary conversation to have.
Yeah, they never had an accident in 20 years. I mean, is that good news or bad news?
Right? Is it our turn?
Is it now? Is the time has come?
Right?
Did you opt for it?
No.
Oh, really?
Risky business over here.
I do want to take out life insurance, though.
Isn't it like it's supposed to be? I mean, I'm not planning on having like a family anytime soon, but I feel like if you're in a married situation, like perhaps maybe kids in the future, that's something smart to do.
Yeah,
but
we do it. I started looking into it. I'm doing it with my husband, and I also want to do it with Keith because if I
$30, that's it.
I will say this, though. Australia, when I was over there, I was punching some of your waves. I made the beaches safer. The wave comes, I give it a kick or a slap. I never get thanked. I don't mind, though, because you see a child smile. That's like cash money. You know what I mean?
That's enough for you.
Oh, you hear a giggle, it makes up for everything.
Can I ask you what your wife is doing while you're punching waves?
Looking the other way like we're not together.
No, punching waves, like just practicing like martial arts out there, or
I'm not practicing. I'm at work. Fuck you, wave.
fuck you, Wave.
Some of these waves, they come in fast and furious.
Sure.
Katrina.
I'm
sure there were others. She was tough.
She was a tough gal.
Yeah.
She was
A
out there.
A lot of people laugh at Irene, but that was no joke either.
Irene was kind of a bitch.
You know what? Eileen is an improver because you said Katrina and she goes, Katrina. Like, of course. Yeah,
Yes,
sure.
yes,
we all know
and.
Katrina. Sure.
The thing with the beach that my wife still does, drives me bonkers, is that she has her towel and her bag, of course, and then gets on the beach and just throws everything in the sand. You don't, and I brought this up before when I was in Hawaii, and I'm just like, oh, you're such a fucking prude. I'm so sorry you got to enjoy yourself. And say, I think
I don't
people,
think I used those words.
You absolutely did. And these people, I think they feel guilty having a good time. And they're like, I must ruin it somehow. So I'll make sure like sand gets in my purse and then all over the bed and all over the hotel.
Once I get home, it's all over my house too.
Because I don't deserve to be. When I go, I put my towel down nice. I put things on the towel. I go in. I could come out, do one of those showers. I can be at a party in 10 minutes, no problem, in a nice suit. These people, they love like sand all over.
It's the worst.
It's disgusting. Enjoy yourself. You've earned it.
Yeah.
You're already high and mighty going to Australia. Put down a towel and make it nice. They put their sunglasses. They bury it. I'll come back for that later.
Terrible.
Thank you for understanding.
How dare they?
Just enjoy yourself. Oh, I'm here. She's taking out a purse and shaking everything on it. Lip balm, she's sticking sand in the actual balm.
Oh, my God. Just actually scooping sand and pouring it into the balm.
Just no rhyme or
Who
reason.
did you marry, Keith?
I know.
She's
I know.
a psychopath.
But now think of this. Her skin is probably very soft and exfoliated because she is just lip balm and sand. That
does look
sounds
good.
delightful, like as a once in a week sort of situation. I do enjoy a product. We're going to talk about it, Chemda.
You know what? I like this half full glass of yours full of sand in the other half.
I'm telling you.
I see you doing that, right? You go to the beach and you just throw everything on the sand?
I don't because sand really irritates me.
It's terrible.
Okay.
I don't. I put it down.
So that's just you playing the child rapist lawyer.
No, just
you do the exact same thing.
No, I'm making fun of your wife with you. It's hilarious. But no, I eventually do get sand in things because I'm just not meticulous enough to not. But I do try not to. But there are days where I will sit directly in the sand and just fucking feel it on me because I'm a sand N-word. Am I allowed to say that?
You said N-word.
You knew not to.
Okay, sorry. Because I'm from the Middle East.
There you go.
I saw in Sydney they have this sign. It's a store. I guess it's a booze store. It's the only thing that would make sense, and it's called Lick Her Hair. Big sign. I have a picture of it. They're like, hey, you know that funny thing, liquor in the front, poker in the back. So it's Lick Her Hair because that's where you would get it.
Yeah,
get it?
No, I don't.
Like liquor, but lick her.
Oh,
Liquor here.
Pushing it. No, pushing it.
Not
That's
smart.
No.
Get your shit together, Australia. Figure out your business puns.
Then there's a sign underneath that says, "Are we pushing it?"
Nuh-uh.
Inside, yeah, that has to be what you just said. It was what a coincidence. And then, like, also on the block, they have Thai food. Tie Me Up is the name of it.
No.
Yeah, and then, so this guy, Lucas, writes me, and he says, what are you expecting? It's in the gay section, LOL.
What?
Well, apparently gay people just love bad sex puns. Well, we're gay. Of course, we're going to call it Lick Her Hair. What would you expect? We love penis, and we have one. What would you expect? I don't know. I didn't know that was the thing with gays. I knew you're not good Christmas tree shoppers. I learned that. But other than that, that's what I've learned.
I like Tie Me Up better than Lick Her Hair. Like, what? Where are you going with this? Is it an ice cream shop?
It was a liquor.
I'm going to guess it's a liquor store.
Oh, right. I keep forgetting. Maybe it's like a liquor ice cream shop. That would be fine.
I mean, that would be good if it was an ice cream shop. That makes sense.
Yeah. Liquor. The booze ice cream shop.
Both. Put them together.
Why don't people talk to me before they make signs?
There is an ice cream shop in San Francisco called...
There is not.
There is. There are several of them. But one of them...
Allegedly.
Allegedly, San Francisco. But they used to have this sorbet that I really loved. They were down the street from my apartment. It was called Jesus Juice Sorbet, which is a beverage that is red wine and Coca-Cola. Did you know that was a thing and that it was called Jesus Juice?
Is that what Jesus was drinking? Ew, Jesus.
I doubt it. I'm very doubtful. But Jesus Juice
Maybe Jesus was drinking wine and Coke.
I'll tell you,
the
shit like the nose stuff. But honestly, it's not terrible. Like if you have a shitty red wine that you're like, oh God, I could barely do it. If you throw some Coke in there, it actually doesn't ruin it. And then
every day a life hack from this show. Every day.
And so go to your Trader Joe's, buy your fucking bootleg wine, and then throw a Coke in there and enjoy yourself. You know what I mean? And then if you're feeling fancy, make it into sorbet like this ice cream place in San Francisco.
That sounds good. I'm not even into it, and it sounds good.
Yeah.
I'm going to go there. I'm going to get the ice cream. And then after I poop it out, I'm going to wash the shit out of it with some kind of squirting
in your
water.
Bidet.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I don't think Laverne would even drink this. That's disgusting. Finger Lakes is saying, Keith, your brother has an episode on Keith and the Girl already. My gay brother, this listener is gay also. I've been foolishly asking for that, and it already happened. Link, please, someone. Yeah, I was talking about how I met my old pal Spooky in Australia, and he did a show with my gay brother back here in New York years ago. Asked my brother, for example, one of many questions, because you're gay, do you masturbate in front of the mirror? Because you like men, why wouldn't you like that you're a man? You know, so
seeing a penis in front of you,
you must love it.
You can't help it.
I mean, it's there, it's available, it's cheaper. I'm sure.
Do you know? Your brother should have said, "Yeah, of course I do, but only with my left hand."
That's like another life hack, like. Left hand. What is that called when you jerk off with your left hand? There's a name.
The
for
idiot.
Isn't it the stranger?
Yes.
The stranger. There you go.
The fool.
Put a fake beard on and then stand in front of the mirror and then use your left hand. And I think that would be like a solid trick of the mind.
He would.
We figured it out. Yeah.
No, my brother, he'd masturbate in front of the mirror, and then the harder he gets, the harder he gets. You know?
He starts talking dirty to himself.
Right.
You're looking real good.
Spooky has been on 64 Keith and the Girl shows. Go to keithandthegirl.com/spooky. You'll see it all there.
Nice.
The description we wrote, and remember, you can use these words at the time. It was so long ago. This socially retarded 30-something-year-old is just starting to get over his stunted growth as a man. Feel free to point and laugh. And then the link to him was myspace.com.
Oh, no.
And in his top 8, only Chemda was there.
Oh, my God.
Meanwhile, yesterday when we brought him up, I was like, yeah, that fucking guy who didn't even know what homosexuality was, asking me all kinds of stupid questions. Thanks for the top 8 spot.
Top 8, man. That was the time, man.
Right?
When you're like, let me judge my friends and just put them out there. Like, that was true friendship.
Also, people were freaking out when they started dating someone, and
they were their number one.
Or they're like, if you're a woman dating a dude and their number one is like their best girlfriend, it's like, what?
How come?
Yeah, you actually had to decide who your besties were.
Yeah.
It was a very
tough.
Yeah, tough time.
But like, you really grounded yourself, I feel. It was grounded in reality.
We all know who our friends were back then.
It's true.
Now it's just a free-for-all.
Too many.
There's my buddy Tom.
Oh yeah, I'm like, who's your buddy Tom? And I was like, oh, MySpace Tom.
He left Tom up there.
I know him as MySpace Tom.
Oh, right.
The one who taught us how to take the picture.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Bless him. I hope he's doing okay.
In Forest City, North Carolina, there was a Santa Claus in a store, and this kid went up and said, you know what, I want an iPod and a drone for Christmas. And Santa said, hey, why don't you worry more about laying off the hamburgers and French fries?
Oh, dang.
Kid's overweight, of course.
Santa's giving advice now?
And Santa was doing a little fat shaming to help the kid grow up.
He said, just lay off the hamburgers and French fries, and that really just disrespected me.
I'm hoping he's fired because I don't want any other kid feeling the way he did Saturday. I mean, it destroyed him.
It affected me so bad that I was crying until I went to bed that night. I would have said to him, like my mama said, like, you don't want to disrespect a 9-year-old, even though what shape of size you are, it doesn't matter.
Good job.
Bless his sweet heart. The little boy. Very well spoken.
Yeah.
Do not disrespect a 9-year-old.
Right.
that should be on a bumper sticker.
And you're the Santa that the 9-year-old had to explain that to.
Yeah, like to have him be like, my mama said, you do not disrespect a 9-year-old, no matter what shape or size.
Wow. Okay, Keith, what's the face?
It's just funny. Like, we're all human beings, right? Like,
Yeah.
how can my opinion be so different from yours? Like, if we're all made out of God's image, this guy's a multiple personality disorder. Because how could I not even be close to this thought you ladies are having?
Oh, that's funny. That's funny. What thoughts are you having?
Just, they annoy me.
Who does?
They both annoy me, but more it's the mother's fault. Why? My kid was already embarrassed. So now I'm going to put my fat kid on TV and make sure everybody hears this story about what Santa whispered in my ear. And, she told him what to say. Or she kept repeating it until he's repeating it verbatim.
Well, he did say my mama says.
Right. 9-year-old kid, quite honestly, I think that I was disrespected and discriminatory practices are not prevalent.
But isn't this what we need to not have a Keith Malley go, but he was fat and he did talk like that? Isn't what we need to go, yeah, that's a 9-year-old human being who is having a fucking Santa experience. Could we leave Santa out of some of this? Could Santa maybe not be the one to tell us what to eat or whatever?
Yeah.
This is an indulgent, fat fuck of a human being who gives you candy. This isn't the time.
Yeah.
No,
So-
if the 9-year-old was really saying his own words, it'd be like, Santa, who are you to talk? Something like that.
But this is a lesson for a 9-year-old on how to express yourself, right? So he said, I cried until bedtime. That was the expression that he had over this. So now because of this, he had to learn the expression of I need for people not to disrespect me. So now he has to learn those words because Santa was a dick.
Yeah.
So why are we blaming the mom for teaching him the words on how to express himself, to not be disrespected, to talk to adults like they're talking to him and respond back with authority, which I think a 9-year-old can have over Santa when he calls him fat.
Yeah.
And now he's spreading it to other people going, hey, if Santa shamed you, if you're having a hard time, you can speak out.
You can say something.
You can go, this is not Santa's place. This is my place. I have the authority here. I'm on TV.
Yeah.
He said, just lay off the hamburgers and French fries, and that really just disrespected me.
Yeah, did this disrespect you?
You don't feel proud of a person expressing himself so well at 9 years old, even if he was coached?
This is this will now be on the internet forever. And your mom was rude to put you on the news like this. For what?
I see.
For what? Who win? Now we're mad at Santa? If I'm ever in Forest City, North Carolina, I want to know if this is the same Santa. No, but I know this kid has schoolmates.
But it's not just for Santa. It's when his schoolmates start picking up, because 9-year-olds don't start maybe until they're 10 realizing the difference. You know, when we start weighing them in front of other people, he'll be able to go, so what? You don't need to tell me what to eat or drink.
He doesn't sound like
Let's talk about other things.
He doesn't sound like a so what kind of guy, right? He's very disrespected.
He said, just lay off the hamburgers and french fries, and that really just disrespected me.
I'm hoping he's fired because I don't want any other kid feeling the way he did Saturday. I mean, it destroyed him.
It affected me so bad that I was crying until I went to bed that night.
It destroyed him. Tell him how it destroyed you, honey. Tell him how it destroyed you.
But why aren't we taking the shame out of speaking up about something that shamed us? Do you know what I mean? Like, by your rules, this kid should be embarrassed at 9 years old, continue to be embarrassed until he has the authority at 18 to decide if he wants to retaliate, however, or, you know, just respond back. Instead, it's a 9-year-old, and I get that TV is different, but it's just the TV? He shouldn't be a 9-year-old on TV?
Is it just that part? That's the only part.
But he's saying, here's me, this kind of thing shouldn't be shamed. Somebody has to be the example. Mm-hmm. So you're saying, why have your kid be the example? Because your kid is about to be the example. That is his life. He is the person who Santa is telling. So other people will be telling him too. He's the example. That's it.
I said to him, like my mama said, like, you don't want to disrespect a 9-year-old. Even though what shape of size you are, it doesn't matter.
Santa Claus did apologize, but the kid doesn't like the apology.
When he went to apologize to me, he didn't even mean it.
Ooh.
Good for him for telling the difference.
Yeah.
What was his apology? Well, you're fat, so.
He said, well, listen, first, ho, ho, ho. I don't mean it. But.
What you call me?
Now, you can't easily see the mom going, he didn't even mean it.
Vincent from Alberta saying this kid's mom definitely didn't coach him on what to say. Octavia
Hold
from
on,
Omaha
that's sarcastic. That's obviously sarcastic.
Okay. Octavia from Omaha. I don't mind that the kid's mom told him what to say or coached him. I think that's what your mom does. Octavia from Omaha saying my first graders know the word disrespectful.
He said, just lay off the hamburgers and french fries, and that really just disrespected me.
I mean, nowadays especially, it's a word that is coming into our vocabularies a lot earlier.
But when your kindergarten say don't disrespect each other,
I think it's
respect your elders.
I think, yes, there's definitely the respect. Oh my God, yeah. There's definitely like...
You know the word respect at the age of 9. You know when people are disrespecting you.
Especially like space and stuff. Like when you're a little kid, you definitely... People tell you, like, this is somebody's bubble. You're not supposed to get in it if you... Like, if they don't want you in there. So.
Would you say maybe somebody might say respect the bubble?
I think so.
I would, but I wouldn't even use the word bubble.
Or like, space, area, all that.
Yeah, well, space.
Body.
But space, what if he's a Christian?
Oh. We don't believe in space when Christianity.
But I'm saying the music could have been worse. At least he didn't get the tuba.
When he went to apologize to me, he didn't even mean it.
But why are you're more mad at the mom because you don't want the kid to go back to school? And
what was the point?
The point is taking back some sort of, what's the word?
Pride.
Some sort of power,
Yeah.
pride, some sort of like understanding that like if you are overweight, that doesn't mean people can tell you what to do or respond to you inappropriately.
Do you know what he needed the drone for? That he wanted for Christmas?
That's not the point. He needs toys for Christmas because he's a kid.
Thank you for a selfie.
Oh.
Yeah. See how you're better than improv? No, Chemda, that is not the point. The toy he wanted.
I would love a drone
To eat it, Chemda! He wanted to eat the drone.
Maybe he wanted the drone to go get snacks for him.
Mm-hmm.
Probably. And that's his business. Well,
We
don't all eat snacks. We all eat the way we're supposed to.
Exactly. I would love a drone to bring me snacks.
That's a good idea.
Oh my God, all day.
First the drone brings me a blunt.
And
then the drone.
And be like, drone. And my drone is voice activated. Drone, bring me a bag of Doritos and heat up the oven and throw in some nuggets in there, please. Thanks, drone.
My drone will be used to it. Hey, drone, I just had a blunt. What the fuck do you think is next?
Where's my fucking snack, bitch?
Vincent, it's irresponsible parenting. I cannot imagine my parents putting me on TV for anything like that at a young age. They would talk to the store and refuse TV interviews. Of course.
I get that. I get it.
Well, that's my point.
Yeah, I get your point. I just don't think it's so terrible when it goes against that point.
It's especially terrible that, yes, this kid does have to go to school, and nobody would have found out about it. Now the school knows about it.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, you taught me a lot of lessons about disrespectfuls. I'm in.
Disrespectful.
We'll be pals now. Now I get it because of the weight issues. Okay, thanks. Pastor David Graham, a pastor, he came into a store with Santa. This is in Alaska. And he started explaining to the kids that there's no such thing as Santa.
He's a pastor. He should.
Hi, it's Pastor Dave Grisham here for Last Frontier Evangelism. And today we're at the mall in Amarillo, Texas. And we're going to tell the children here today.
Oh, excuse me. He's from Alaska.
Oh.
Truth. Nay.
The thing is he is wrong because if he's going to come in speaking the truth, there is a Santa. There is a Santa to children.
Yeah.
Just like there's a tooth fairy to children. It does not matter.
Yeah.
It exists. There's
MJG is rating in. He would choke the guy out and then put coal in his own stocking so his kids saw all of it's real.
That's awesome.
Smart.
That is brilliant.
I got a letter from my parents. I mean, they both sign it, one signature, but you can guess if it's my mom or my dad. At the front.
Were you nervous? Did you get this after Christmas?
For Christmas.
Okay.
I mean, I came back from Australia. A sign of peace, and 3 wise men on the front.
Lovely.
And then inside, our beloved son and daughter-in-law. May you both have a most blessed Christmas and a holy, happy, healthy, and prosperous New Year. We hope the land down under gives you both happy memories. I love Mom and Dad. Merry Christmas. God is with us through his Son and his Holy Spirit.
And Santa.
And I got $40.
Hey.
Nice.
Yeah.
Man.
Mm-hmm.
30 of those can go towards your life insurance.
It could have. I didn't get it in time.
And you still get 10 left over for treating yourself.
For like a third of your wife's life.
Mm-hmm.
Last night, my mom sent me a text message. Did you get my email about Dad? I'm like, oh, come on. No, what email? No response.
And you're on top of your emails, I think.
I know if I would have got it.
Yeah.
Right.
And so you're just like, okay, it's another hospital story, I suppose. There's been chest problems for a while lately, very often. Little heart attacks or heart attack scares, this kind of thing.
He has stints in his
So
right?
So he tells me today. So she tells me finally today. Dad's in the hospital. I took him yesterday. He was having chest pains. So we're talking for a second. I said, "Do you need anything?" And she says, "No, thank you so much for asking. You're a wonderful son." Kisses. It's like, well, all I did was, you know what I mean?
That's all they want to
Do
hear.
you want anything? Oh my God! I raised you so correctly.
Yes, that's all a mother ever wants.
Well, you know I'm not flying over. I mean, do you? What am I gonna give you?
Do you need my heart? I will give you my heart.
Take it.
So I said, I have $40 if you want anything nice.
That's hilarious.
And she said, sincerely and quickly, no, that's for you and Catherine.
Oh, that's so cute.
My gosh.
Do you get nervous? You're getting hospital calls here and again. You're not really in the best relationship with your dad.
It's the best that we're going to have, so it's fine. It's not like he's going to pass away and I'll regret anything.
Yeah. Do you get nervous that will change after he passes or?
No.
Yeah.
No. He will go soon, I believe.
That doesn't like rattle you at all?
Nah. It's what happens. I mean, again, all my life, he's been telling me he's going to die.
Dude, that's my dad, too.
Yeah, so I'm ready.
That's so interesting. That's my husband's dad, too.
Dude.
Hennessy's dad is like, I'm just getting closer to the grave. And I'm like,
I'm too.
You are this guy is more in shape than, he is a monster of a human. He will kick your ass, like, in a good way.
Yeah.
And also in a bad way.
Sure.
He's not dying.
But
right,
yet, they're
right, you
just-
guys, I can't.
No, he's not. He's not. My dad is 75 and like
There you go.
just is chilling. He walks every day. He lives in front of the beach. He's like, he eats really healthy for the most part. Recently, he's like started drinking a lot less, which for Jock Clark is crazy because most of my memories of my dad when I was younger are drunk memories.
Yeah.
And like, but
Santa Claus is in town.
exactly. He once dressed up as Santa Claus. There's a picture of me like looking very incredulously like, I don't think so, buddy.
Right.
But ever since I can remember, he's like, well, you never know when I'm going to kick the bucket. And I'm like, okay, Dad. Well, you never know when a bus will come by and hit me. I'm like, Dad, okay, I get it. Not every conversation, like we're talking about whatever. And he'll be like, well, you know, tomorrow I might die. I was like,
This is the secret.
Yeah.
This is the secret.
Just keep saying it every single day of your life.
You'll live to 100.
Yeah.
It's the ones that threaten. It's incredible.
Listen, guys, I might die tomorrow, so I don't know about you.
Yeah, look at me. I'm dying already.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Girl.
I'm absolutely dying.
You're popping these pills that are giving you heart palpitations. Come on now.
Got tumors. I'm trying as hard as possible.
Yes.
Come on.
Don't forget, by the way, Friday next week, I believe it's the 13th. Is this correct?
Yes, Friday the 13th.
It's the KATG Awards every year. What is the best, funniest, craziest, saddest things that happened all year? We're going to talk about it along with Chanel Ali, so that's going to be a lot of fun.
We scheduled it for the evening so that people can come and listen live and join us. It's usually a long show, so get your food, get your drink, get your smoke, get everything. It's one of those like kind of party shows. So join us live. You just go to keithandthegirl.com. At 7 p.m. on Friday Eastern Time. And we're going to go over the whole year. And if you want to get in your last-minute KATG Award nominations, because you guys are the ones that nominate for Best New Guest, for Craziest Moment, for Saddest Moment, it's all on our forums, keithandthegirl.com/forums. Let me tell you, I don't know how we're going to do Best New Guest this year.
Hello, everyone. I have only been here twice.
And the first time was this year.
Yes, it's
you
true.
Qualify. Get yourself on that forum.
Aileen Clark.
And then you could, I'll give you a link. You can check your grade of the year.
My grades. A's and B's. That's all I want, guys.
Let's, instead of the awards, let's just give out grades this year.
And it's
Are
on
you
a
doing something?
it's on a scale too. That's the thing. The storytelling show that Aileen has is called Jenna and Aileen Think You're Great.
Yes.
You should go.
You should.
It's encouraging. Wednesday, January 18th, 10 p.m. Creek in the Cave.
Yes, please.
Okay. The theme this year, this episode, the show must go on.
It must.
A lot's happening, but we still have to perform, don't we? It's in our blood.
Yes, it's true.
You will be appearing on 50 Cinquenta. It's an improv show performed in both English and Spanish. That's most people.
Yeah.
That's Monday, January 30th at 8 p.m. at UCB East.
Now, is this like somebody does the English version and then somebody in...
No, the entire scene is in like Spanglish, if you will.
Okay.
So we'll be like, mira, te estoy hablando ahorita, and then I'm just going to keep talking to you, and después te hablo así, y ahí después I'll talk to you like this. So it'll just be...
Ooh, I understood that. I'm coming. I want to feel good about myself and my
Yes.
Spanish.
It's really fun. We interview somebody and ask them about like an experience they've had with either in a Latin American country or with a Latin speaking Spanish speaking person, and then we do improv off of it, and in Spanish and in English.
Holy shit, that's awesome.
It's really fun.
Wow.
Yeah,
Next level, you guys.
doing our best.
I'll tell all my Jew friends.
Yes, bring them Jews.
Always great to see you. Thank you again. I mean,
Thank you so much,
all
guys.
2 times. It's always great.
Oh my God.
It's going to be good to see you on the creek.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. And remember, do not disrespect people out there. Okay? It's not right.